Good afternoon, students. I hope I'm audible to all of you. I'm extremely sorry for joining late. Am I audible? Please confirm. Okay. Now, quickly, let's start with section 135. Okay, did we complete all the provisions of section 135? I think only rules part was pending, right? Okay, is this, look at this. Is it, I think, visible to all of you? Fine. So, only rule part is pending. Just let me share this with you. It's, okay. Um, mcgov.in. Just a second. It's here, the Companies Act 2030. All right. So, if you come to the chapter of accounts and companies, and if you look at the section 135, I think we have solved all the sections, isn't it? In the last subsection, what we learned that was about that if you have up to 50 lakhs rupees CSR amount, then if it is up to 60 lakhs rupees amount, then you don't need to constitute CSR committee. You don't need to constitute CSR committee. I think that much is clear to all of you, isn't it? Hello? All right. So now let's begin with the rules part. What are the different rules about this? Now, rules can be categorized into two ways. All right. You click on the rules here, and if you see here, the chapter wise rules are given. Look at this. The first one is definition, then incorporation, after then prospectus, after then GDR, global depository receipts, after then share capital and debenture, deposit, registration of charges, management and administration. Management and administration rules are general meeting rules. Significant beneficial owners, that is about the share capital again. Declaration and dividend payment, but nothing is applicable to us. Look at this now. Accounting, audit, transfer, and refund. And I want all of you to focus. Look, even after NFRA, fourth rule, this rule, the company's corporate social responsibility policy rules 2014. So here, are you able to see dear all the rules which are written in the chronological order as per the chapter wise? Can you see this? Guys, can you see this? All? Hello? How it is chronologically going? Our main target is the company's CSR. So if you click on the CSR, we have these many rules over here. All this, look at this. The first of all, short title is the commencement and definition, then corporate social responsibility, CSR implementation, committee, policy, expenditure reporting, and display it on website. So some part we have done while doing the provision, and now this is the time to learn in detail. But don't worry, I will not take much time over here because rules cannot be taught completely. I will teach only that part which is very much applicable for your exam, from where there is a possibility to ask a question. Only that part I will do. Only that part I will do. I hope you agree. Okay, if you agreed, I do word yes, because doing everything will not be possible for me. But okay, so is it fine for everyone? Hello. Okay. So now we have here the first point, and that is, as you can check it, the short title and the commencement. There is nothing much to understand about. Short title and the commencement is talking about what is the heading of this thing. If you click on this, look at 2014. So this may be called as the CSR policy rules 2014, and they shall come into force on so for time. So there's nothing much in that. If you come to the definition, so what is administrative overheads? What is annexure? What is CSR? All these different definitions are provided over here. What is public authority? What is ongoing project? Did you observe we have discussed about the ongoing project, but the term ongoing project is not explained in the act itself. It is given in the rules. So look at it is the multi-year project undertaken by a company in fulfillment of its CSR obligations having timeliness not exceeding 3 years. This is also very interesting. That if any project you are taking longer than 3 years, it will not be in the definition of ongoing project, in which it was commenced and shall include such project that was initially not approved as a multi-year, but whose duration has been extended beyond 1 year by the board based on the reasonable justification. So guys, this is the definitional part, but I don't want to go in that. Yeah, one question they can ask about the administrative overheads, because one paragraph we are going to solve regarding the administrative overheads. So my request is you just please pay attention on the administrative overheads, all of you. It means the expenses incurred by the company for general management and administration of CSR. For example, CSR salaries. If you are going for the CSR implementation, you may have to hire a lot of employees there. Okay, and employees do not work. Employees don't work without salary. All right, you may have to pay the salary to them, so that will come to the administrative overhead functions. But shall not include the expenses directly incurred for designing, implementation, monitoring, evaluation of a particular CSR project or program. So you also understand that what would be there in the administrative overheads. Right now, it is not that much useful, but while we are solving the further rules, that will be applicable. Got it? Okay. What is happening here? Excuse me. All right. Now let us go to the this particular rule number three of CSR policy here. Okay. So what rule number three is saying here? Every company, including its holding and subsidiary, and a foreign company, defined under section 2 subsection 42. So this is very interesting, guys. If there is a foreign company, let's say Oppo, Vivo, which are doing business in India, but the incorporations are made outside India, do they need to follow this section 135? Do the people need to follow this section 135? What do you think about it? Will they follow section 135? Which are foreign companies incorporated outside India? Answer would be absolutely yes. Look at the rule number one. It is written every company, whether it is a holding, subsidiary, including foreign company. It is clearly written, Mahima. So look, it is the great arrangement by the Indian government that if you are a foreign company but earning money from India, then you must have to pay CSR. You must have to pay CSR to Indian people. You must have to pay CSR to Indian people. All right. Of the Act having its branches, offices, projects, India with fulfills criteria as specified under Section 135. So it applies to foreign company if it satisfies turnover, net worth, or net profit condition. What we learned in Section 135, subsection 1. All right. Provided that the net worth turnover of a foreign net profit of a foreign company of the actor shall be computed in accordance with the balance sheet and the profit and loss account of such company prepared in accordance with such provisions of section 381 and 198 of the act. Now what do you mean by this 198? Look, I do not want to go in depth, but if you look at the section 381 and 198 turnover net profit, now there's a question. Should we include all that sales, all that assets which is created outside India? For example, there's a company called Apple, and Apple has the various branches. So should we consider only the turnover which is created within India, or we should consider outside India as well? So right now I don't want to go in that, but the fact is we will consider only which is created within India. We will not consider the amount which is created outside India. Got it? Otherwise, outside India, they may have the, let's say, Apple. Indian unit may have very limited turnover. But globally, if you look at the amount goes in billions and billions of dollars. So we cannot ask 2% for that turnover which is incurred and created outside India, technically. And if you will do like that, if we have the rules that the turnover of the whole world globe will be accumulated together for a foreign company and then it will be added here, then nobody will be motivated to invest in India. कोई मोटिवेशन ही नहीं आएगा इंडिया में. कौन आएगा भाई? कौन आएगा? कोई नहीं आएगा. ठीक है? All right. After that, it says that every company which ceases to be a company, this is very much important and very much wonderful provision. Every company which ceases to be a company covered under section 135, subsection 1. Now, what do you mean by this? This rule, if you want to understand, guys, again, I want all of you to make it the 5 stars. Very important question for your exam. काफी important question है आपके exam के लिए. All of you know, guys, what it tries to say, let me tell you. You all know that basically 3 criteria, either of the 1 criteria needs to be fulfilled while you go for CSR implementation. And what are the criteria? These are provided here, right? What if suddenly in this 1 year, this year particularly, your turnover is less than 1000 crores. Your net worth is your net worth is less than 500 crores. And your profit also less than 5 crores. So if you look at from this year, all the threshold limits which are provided in the law are below. All the thresholds limit are below of provide under as per under section 131 135 subsection 1. So from the next year onwards, do you require to follow CSR or not? That is only the question. From next year onwards, do you people require to follow section 135 or not? What do you think about it? What do you think about it? From next year onwards, do you need to follow 135? क्या लगता है आपको? Answer would be, that is what the question. Have you understood the question? Have you understood the question? There is a company, I am a company, I'm running. But suddenly this year, all the threshold limits went below the prescribed limits. So here the question is, should I go for CSR contribution from the next year onwards? Answer would be absolutely yes, because this sub-rule 2 says that every company which ceases to be a company covered under section 135 subsection 1, that means all the three limits are coming down from that limit for continuously 3 consecutive financial years shall not require to implement this. Are you getting me? So guys, that limit should be below the limit for continuously how many years? It should be for continuously how many years? 3 years. So back to back 3 years, if your limit is below what government has provided, then and only then and only then. Then and only then, guys, this is not applicable. Otherwise, it's up. Got it? So this sub rule is a wonderful sub rule, I guess. Very, there are questions to be asked in exam. Okay. So after sub rule 3, I would like to go with the sub rule number 4, CSR implementation. CSR implementation. So here there are a lot of contents. We can just go with that. There are a lot of points are given how you can go with that. All right. So basically, you have two options. Either company will do on its own, or it can make tie up with other NGO. Look, what is my observation? Most of the companies don't want to go alone because that will be very difficult for them, isn't it? Most of them would like to go with what? They would like to go with some tie-ups with the NGOs. So what it is written that the board shall ensure that the CSR activities are undertaken by the company itself or through. Now, guys, this is very, very important amendment taken place. Why am I talking about the amendment? Here some categories are given. First of all, company itself can do if it wants, and if it does not want to go alone because it doesn't have that much expertise. And second option is given, you can go through any NGO. You can go through any NGO, first of all. Second, you can go through any other body or entity established by the state government or the central government by way of passing in the parliament or by way of the state assembly. All right. All right. Now let me tell you something about it. Look, earlier it was the provision that Section 8 can be used or some NGOs can be used. Certain association which are governmental approved associations can be used. Can be used for what reason? They can be used for this CSR implementation. This CSR implementation. But a lot of misuses was detected by the government of India. What kind of misuses detected? For example, company and those NGOs had a tie-up, like I will pay you, let's say, 2 crore rupees commission and show the certificate that yes, we have given this much amount to you. A lot of black money, white money transactions happen. So from this year onwards, particularly 2021 year onwards, what government made it compulsory that any organization, whether it is governmental approved or central government approved, it must have to get the CSR license from the government. CSR certificate. It is just like the Section 8 license. All of you know what is Section 8 license, right? Section 8 license. So now you understand Section 8 company, if it wants to go with the CSR projects as well on behalf of any company, it needs to have the three certificates. Company and corporation certificate, Section 8 central government license, and the third what it needs to have is CSR certificate from the government. So I like that CSR certificate has been made mandatory for all these organizations. So all those fishy organizations which are running only for money on paper, those will be eliminated automatically, and only the genuine CSR organizations will grab this opportunity to serve the nation. I think this is the good decision made by the government. What you think about it? Isn't it? This is a good decision made by the government. All right. So in upcoming paragraph, this is what we are going to learn with that. So what is written over here? That either company can go itself or a company established under Section 8 of the Act or registered public trust. So it is not only Section 8, but if it is a trust, that is also fine, or registered society, registered under Section 12A and the 8AG of the Income Tax Act 1961. What is these two sections are? I think maybe you people know better than me. Established by the company, either singly or along with any other company, or a company established under Section 8 of the Act, or a registered trust or registered society established by the central government or the state government. So either it is not registered with the state government, central government, it is fine, or it is registered with central government, state government, that is also fine. Then any entity established under the Act of Parliament or state legislation. So particular entity, for example, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, can I say it is the parliamentary body or entity which is specifically made of Beti Bachao and a lot of other, what I can say, the organizations and the entity may be, made by the government of India. A company established under Section 8 or a trust or registered society under Section 12 ATG written over here, having an established track record of at least 3 years in undertaking similar activities. So this is very interesting. You cannot give this to any random person. At least you should have the experience of the 3 years. So there can be a question in your exam that there is a registered trust which wants to be the CSR implementer on behalf of the company, but it has only 2 years of experience. So can it go for that or not? Can it go for that or not? Answer would be no if it is not supported by the government. Every entity covered under Subrule 1 who intends to undertake any CSR activity shall register itself with the central government by filling the CSR 1 electronically with the registrar with effect from the 1st April 2021. So guys, are you able to see this, that anyone who wants to work, which is written in the Subrule 1. Now look at the Subrule 1. So guys, this is all these people are coming under Subrule 1. Are you getting my point? All these people are coming under Subrule 1 till D points. Guys, are you able to get this? All these people, whether look, normal Section 8, normal registered society, normal registered trust as per ATG or 12A, or Section 8 or society or trust created by either central government or the state government, any establishment by act of parliament, if they want to work for CSR, If they want to work for CSR, they need to get the certification from ROC, that is obviously the central government, by filing the form called CSR 1 electronic. Hey guys, type the word clear if you got till this. Hello? Is it clear? Okay. Now, how the CSR 1 will be given, it is written over here. Provided that the provisions of this subrule shall not affect the CSR projects or the programs approved prior to first day of April 2021. So already the projects which are running, it will not affect them. So it's not like that if someone who has not taken CSR 1, then the running projects will be suspended. No, it prospective effect. I think all of you can understand what is prospective effect is, right? Okay. Form CSR1 should be signed and submitted electronically by the entity, that means by the that particular NGO or trust or whatever, verified digitally by a chartered accountant in practice or a company secretary in practice or cost accountant in practice. On the submission of the form CSR1 on the portal, a unique CSR registration number shall be generated by the system automatically. A company may engage international organization for designing, monitoring, and evaluation of the CSR projects. Now, this is the another point over here. You can invite some international organization for evaluation of quality and the performance of your CSR projects. Guys, are you people going smoothly to this? Like, are you comfortable? I know I have picked up a little bit speed, but I think that is necessary. Come on. Are you fine with this? Are you fine with this? According to me, this is called the best qualitative teaching, right? Because we are digging down each and every point. All right. So here, you can call, this is third point is called talking about the audit of the CSR project. You can call any international organization which can evaluate, which can help you in designing, monitoring that thing, because sometimes we may not have that much expertise for that. Company may also collaborate with other companies for undertaking projects. What does mean this? Can two companies join hands together for a common CSR activity? Is it possible? Answer it. Is it possible that two companies join hands together for a common purpose? Absolutely yes. So now the thing is, from where the company is getting the power? Answer is subrule number 4 is giving the power about this collaboration with other company are undertaking projects or the programs, CHR activities in such way, these are competitions. The board of a company shall satisfy itself that the funds so disbursed have been utilized for the same purpose. Okay, so already we have just covered this part over there. In case of ongoing project, the board of a company shall monitor the implementation of the project. So this 5 and 6 sub rule are not that much important for your exam. They are just saying that board will just observe and monitor whether everything is going fine or not. So guys, from this sub rule, CSR implementation, what are the important questions what they can ask in exam? So first important question what they can ask in exam is what kind of institution can be used what kind of institution can be used to monitor the excuse me guys, all right guys, so I'm sorry for the inconvenience. Okay, so here look, what is our main objective? Our main objective is just not to read and complete it. We have to find out the possible questions what can we ask out of this entire study. Look, whatever we are reading, the best part to remember is create the questions, create the questions, create the questions, create the questions. That will give you the one of the most easiest method for remember. When I was a kid, I still remember that my parents were used to ask me a lot of questions. Hey, tell me your name. Then I would say yes, Chirag. Actually, my main name is not Chirag. It is Dikshit. But later on, what happened? My grandpa was not used to, but not able to pronounce Dikshit properly because, by the way, a lot of tongue twisting is there. No? So, son of my Bua, you understand, right? Bua. His name was Chirag. So, my name also he kept as Chirag. By the way, Chirag and Dikshit, both of them are coming from same Rashi. This is how I go. So they were used to ask me the question, what is your name? What is your father's name? So the moment when you create a question in your mind, there is a blank space. Your neurons create such chemical. It releases such chemical in the brain. Now, what kind of chemical it is? You see, if you talk about the CD, DVD, basically they are blank. And on that CD and DVD, first of all, space is created, and on the basis of the space, data is stored. The same way, guys, if you want to memorize something psychologically or scientifically, first of all, space must be created. Space must be created. And do you know when the space is created? When something curious coming in front of you now, space automatically will be created. Okay, I don't know whether you observed this psychological research or not, but this is my observation. I want to give you the two options. You simply read. You simply read. And you read question with answer. Which method is more effective in memorizing? Remembering, particularly. Come on, be honest and tell me. You're simply reading. And if I break that paragraph into question wise, this is the question, for example, which is the look, for example, if I read like this, that investors education protection fund can be established by the central government. All right, so all the monies which are not paid by the company for the 7 years will be transferred to IEPF. It will be used for these objectives. These three lines I have said, instead of stating like this, what if I say, who is the authority for IEPF? Central government. What are the funds which are credited in IEPF? So this is the list. What are the objectives? So these are the objectives. So actually questions and answer pattern breaks the entire content into small part. It is very easy for your brain even because now each and every content has one magnet called the question. One question. So any theoretical subject when you do, guys, it is my personal request. Even if question is not, then make it. Make it. And that will be very, very helpful to all of you guys memorizing the questions. And ultimately, that is our goal. All right. So even if you look at what kind of possible questions we can go with that. First of all, what kind of institutions company can take the help of to implement the CSR? All right. Then, what is the provision about getting the CSR 1 certificate by all these organizations? By all these organizations. Second is, can company go for international evaluation? Answer is yes. Can company go for collaboration with many more companies which have the promotion of the same objective? Answer would be absolutely yes. Guys, hope rule number 4 is clear to everyone. Hello? Hello? Is it clear? Is it clear? All right. Okay. Guys, here lengthy content is there. I request you make chart. जितना अच्छा चार्ट बनाओगे उतना अच्छा ज्यादा रहेगा आपको चार्ट बनाना मत भूलो ऑलराइट okay now I want all of you to focus the another point that is the rule number 5 now rule number 5 is talking about CSR committees all right so guys rule number 5 about the CSR committee I want to give you this as a homework that is what are the functions and all this part already you know that how it will go. So I don't want to go in much in that. Who are the persons and what are the workings? Okay. CSR committee you do on your own. Rule number 4, it was totally omitted. So that's a good thing for us. You need to learn about the next. Is rule number 7, guys. This is the most important point for the exam. CSR expenditure. CSR expenditure. Make it 5 stars for your exam. CSR expenditure. So first of all, the board shall ensure that the administrative overheads shall not exceed the 5% of the total CSR expenditure of the company for the financial years. Now this one sub rule, and guys, trust me, there can be a very tough question in exam. Let me just ask you the question for this. Okay, so that you can understand. Write in the question for this sub rule. एक ही sub rule में देखो ICI कैसा मैनिपुलेट करती है. So question ऐसे जाएगा. Suppose निम्मी Sahara Technologies Limited. It is the company. Alright. Nimmi Sahara Technologies Limited. Now this company has total average profit for the last 3 years is somewhere around 50 cr. Okay, total 50 cr. Okay, and total expenses are. You tell me if total 50 cr is there. Can I say 2% of 50? That would approximately come to how much? 1 cr. So 1 cr will be CSR amount. Hello. CSR amount will be how much? 2% of 50 cr. So that comes to how much? 1 cr. So that much will be the CSR amount. Now what company has done? What company has done? So company has incurred following expenses out of it. Whether it is valid or not. First is administrative overhead. Administrative overhead amounting rupees 10 lakhs. Second, cost of designing, monitoring, and implementation. It is somewhere around 5 lakhs. And remaining 85 lakhs used to promote education. To promote education. To promote the education. So is it valid compliance or not? Guys, trust me. For you, this question looks like it's very easy, very simple. But अगर ये क्वेश्चन आया ना फाड़ के रख देगा क्यों because who just expected that sometimes you need to even calculate the overhead percentages. For that also we have to understand that overhead includes what and it excludes what. That also we have to look into. So answer of this kind of questions are not easy to give. Are you getting me what am I trying to say here? They are not easy to give. So look at now. Okay, guys, membership chapter is almost ready. Maybe tomorrow you will get it. Just like the prospectus. Membership chapter भी आपको बहुत जल्द मिल जाएगा. ठीक है? बहुत जल्द मिल जाएगा. So how to solve this problem now? अगर ये question आई exam में तो कैसे solve करो? Before I go to the solution, my request to all of you is note down the question first, and then I will start the solution. If it is done, type the word done. चलो बच्चा. Done, Sriram. Thank you. Okay. So look at guys, if you read this subrule 1, it says that expenses of CSR will be part of this 2%. It's not like 2% will be exclusively used only for promotion. Nah, bhai. Any expenditure what you are making For implementing CSR, it will also be 2%, a part of 2%. It will not be taken separately, otherwise it will be very expensive. Yes or no? Any expenses, any salary, any monitoring expenses you are making, that will be deducted from this 2%. That means expenses of CSR will also be considered as a part of CSR. This rule is clear. Expenses of CSR will also be considered as part of CSR. No separate provision needs to be made for the expenses. But law says administrative overheads shall not exceed 5% of the total CSR expenditure of the company for the financial year. So if you look at over here, my dear students, total expenses of the CSR is one crore, what you're going to make for promotion and everything. Administrative overheads are the 10 lakhs. So 10 lakhs is more than 5% or less than up to 5%. So 10 lakhs divided by 1 CR, so automatically it comes to what? It comes to 10%. So which is higher than what is prescribed over here. So technically speaking, my dear students, here, this part, it is the non-compliance. Now further, whether this part, 5 lakhs, cost of designing, monitoring and implementation, is it part of overhead or not? So do you see, I told you that remember this administrative overhead definition, because somewhere in upcoming rules we are going to crack this. So look at it. It means the expenses incurred by the company for general management and administration of the corporate social responsibility functions in the company. But they shall not include the expenses directly incurred for designing, implementation, and monitoring and evaluation of particular corporate social responsibility projects or the program. So any amount you have expended regarding what? Any amount if you have expended regarding monitoring, that will not be part of administrative overhead. So this is exclusively allowed. Exclusively allowed. Okay, let me just make a twist in the question. For example, if instead of 10 lakhs, I make it 3 lakhs. Now, is it valid compliance or it is still violation? Okay, now just try to answer this. Instead of 10 lakhs, I have made it 3 lakhs. So now, is it compliance or violation? Batao? Is it a violation? How? Remember? कैसे भाई ये violation हुआ बताओ? अरे it is not a violation. What other side you tell me? This cost of designing and implementation is not a part of administrative overhead, so they are exclusively allowed without any limit. Okay, here there is no limit, so it is without limit. It is allowed, no matter what is your amount is, and this should be maximum up to 5%. So if you look at the 3 lakhs, it is only 3%. It is only 3%, and these 5 lakhs will not be part of the administrative overheads. So as far as administrative overhead is concerned, it is up to 5% only. It is up to 5% only. So where is the violation? Where is the violation? Answer to these questions, there is no violation. Understand? There is no violation. What am I trying to say? While calculating the percentage of administrative overhead, this part will not be added. And if it is already added, exclude this and then go with that. Is it clear, Mahima, now? Now, why you are taking care about the total? By the way, as I told you, expenses of CSR, expenses of CSR is also part of CSR. So why you care about it? The point law clearly says the total expenditure of administrative overhead should not go beyond the 5%. That's all. Hey, other students are getting this, or if you don't accept it, I can just skip it. So other students are able to understand this kind of sums. This kind of sums. Okay, I think let me twist the question now. Suppose administrative overheads are uh, 15 lakhs. Okay, 15 lakhs. Out of which, now let me twist the question. Out of which cost of designing, monitoring, and all that stuff coming to 11 lakhs. Now let's solve it. Is it violation or not violation? चलो बताओ. Simple बात है. If administrative overhead is going more than 5%, it is violation. Otherwise, it's not violation. So is it violation or not violation? Sriram got it. Very good. What about the other students? It is not violation. Simple. 15 minus this 11 lakhs is not part of administrative overhead. So it will be deducted. So ultimately it comes to 4 lakhs. 4 lakhs divided by 1 crore. That comes to 4% only. So administrative overheads are only up to within 5%. So which is actually allowed by the subgroup. And that's why it's not a violation. चक्कर आ गया ना मैंने कहा था CSR में आओ देखो बॉलिंग करते हैं इफ यू कांट डू दिस स्किप इट ये हर किसी के बस की बात नहीं है करना ठीक है अगर कुछ चीजें नहीं हो रही है टफ लग रही है छोड़ दो बाय द वे नाउ एज बीइंग एग्जामिनर इज इट कंपलसरी टू प्रिपेयर एवरीथिंग चलो आज एक और स्ट्रेटेजी देता हूँ आपको एज बीइंग the paper writer is it compulsory to complete all the topics no sometimes we have to play the probability game what is the probability for this kind of questions to be asked in exam if the probability is less and a lot of time is needed to prepare those skip it नहीं करना है उसको ठीक है all right next part over here is what it says that any surplus I think this part already you've done any surplus arising out of CSR activities will not be part of this 2%. It will be considered as the additional to this surplus. Have we done that part? Have we done that part? All right. Third, where a company spends an amount in excess of this part also we have done. अगर कुछ excessive है, so up to upcoming 3 years, you can claim that. Come on, you can claim that. Have we done that part as well? Okay. CSR amount will be spent by a company for certain or acquisition of a capital asset. Guys, now this is the very good amendment. Capital asset. Capital asset. Capital asset. Sometimes it is created like building is created, land is bought. If it is reflected in the balance sheet of the company, then technically it would become part of company's assets. Company's assets. Now you understand if it is the part of the balance sheet of the company, then during the wind up, each and every member can ask participation on those assets. For example, there is a company total somewhere around 20,000 crore rupees assets, out of which 5,000 crores assets are CSR assets. That means assets which was bought by contributing towards the CSR. And now suddenly company goes for liquidation. And all the shareholders will claim on total 20,000 CR. So all those 5,000 CR assets which was created for charity will be distributed to the members. Should this kind of practice be allowed by the law or not? That you can create the CSR capital assets. You can create the CSR capital assets in the company's name. Should this kind of practice be allowed by the company or not? What do you think? हाँ बताइए क्या ऐसी practices allowed होनी चाहिए? I'm not asking to only Mahima, I'm asking to the whole class. Answer the question. Come on. Whether these kind of practices should be allowed or not allowed? कि CSR के नाम से पैसा लेके जेब में डाल दो Students, excuse me just 1 second. I have just 2 minutes work. 2 minutes work. Can I take you 2 minutes if you don't mind? It is urgent, that's why. Please. All right. I'm extremely sorry for the inconvenience, guys. So, did you understand the logic, guys, that if CSR, then everybody would do the same thing to avoid the CSR compliances. They will just keep aside 2%, and those 2%, instead of spending anywhere, they will start creating a lot of assets, and they will start accumulating the assets in the balance sheet. And at the end of the day, they will distribute among the shareholders. So is it CSR or it is just money going into pocket? Is it really CSR or money going into the pocket? It is money going into the pocket. Do you agree with that? Hello? It is money going into the pocket, so nobody can allow that. That is why, guys, it is written. What is written that? Look at this sub rule. I like it. It is about the capital asset creation. It says that the CSR amount may be spent by a company for creation or acquisition of a capital asset, which shall be held by company established under Section 8, a registered public trust or registered society having charitable objects and CSR registration, as we have already explained. So guys, these assets will not be kept by company, it will be kept by either of this trust, society or Section 8 company which has the CSR registration number. Now, I don't know whether you have heard about or learned about this part or not, but Section 8 company cannot bring any profit to their home, not in the form of revenue profit, not in the terms of capital profit. Do you know if the Section 8 company is getting wound up, it has the surplus, it will be transferred to another Section 8 company having the similar objects. Do you know this? Huh? It cannot bring the amount home. So company itself cannot hold the asset. And I think it is common sense to understand, isn't it? It is very much common to understand. Or it can be held by the beneficiaries of the said CSR project in the form of self-help groups, collectives, or the entities. Now, what do you mean by this? For example, I have created the CSR for helping the widow women. I want to create the residential houses for them, schools or hospitals. So, guys, if I want to create the quarters for such shelterless people, then this capital asset I will transfer in that beneficiary's name. But company cannot keep it. And the C point it is trying to say the public authority as provided by the government. What is public authority? So look at this. Public authority means it is defined under Section 2H of the Right to Information Act 2005. But I don't want to go to Right to Information Act level. Provided that any capital asset created by a company prior to the commencement of this 2021 rules shall be within a period of 180 days from such commencement comply with the requirement of this rule. So what does it mean? Guys, what if, look, this is the amendment. Did you see, guys? All these have come into implementation as on 22nd January 2021, so exactly 1 year before. So if any company is already holding this asset within 180 days, it will be transferred to either of these people. Otherwise, it will be considered as invalid. Otherwise, it will be considered as invalid. All right. So, hey students, now please confirm. Is it clear to all of you that what am I trying to say here? The entire CSR expenditure. All right. So now the question time. What kind of questions they can ask? And trust me, rule number 7, it is the wonderful sub rule where they can ask a lot of questions. Point number 1 is about the administrative overhead question. What will be the part of 5%? What will not be a part of 5%? So we have to remember the definition. After that, what if the surplus arise? What about the excess amount? All right. Then what about the capital assets? So these 4 points we are going to learn about. My request is open up this link and again you refer this rule. Okay, and I want to give you 2 minutes for that. Once it is done, type the word done, guys. If you want to note down something, if you want to write something, I want to give you 2 minutes for that. Please do it. Please do it. Okay, so are you good to go for the next rule? So guys, next rule is the CSR reporting. CSR reporting. Again, guys, CSR reporting, my request is you skip it. Skip it. I don't want to do it here. After then, displaying the website wala content, that part already I have done. So that is all about my students the CSR rules. Nothing much to go about it. There are certain annexures जो आपके लिए नहीं, that is the professional study. Whew. So that is all about section 135. कैसा लगा? CSR, CSR. Everything about CSR we learned. Everything about CSR we just completed and covered up. Done and clear? Then we can go to now 136, 137, 138. Three very pyara cutie sections, and then this chapter will get over. Sir, I'm not feeling well. All that. Yes, sure. Why not? Please. All right. So after that, let's go with now the new section, and the new section over here it is section number 136 up to 135. If we go. Section 136. Thank you. No problem. So what is section 136 is all about? So 136, guys, it is right of members to get the copies of audited financial statements. To get the audited financial statements. So technically, whenever audit audited financial statements are prepared, every member has the right to get one copy. One copy. All right. So there is nothing much in that. I just want to tell you that some days are written, within what days it will be given to member. A copy of the financial statements, including consolidated financial statements, if any, auditor's report, and every other document, or just simply underline these words if you have, it to be laid before the company's AGM. We all know that in the general meeting it will be placed, and it will be sent to every member of the company, every debenture trustee, and all other persons other than such members being a person so entitled. So what kind of entitled person? Let's say there is any banker, there is any directors like those people, not less than 21 days before the date of meeting. So this part I will cover up while doing the general meeting. And within how many days before financial statements will be given to the people. All right. Provided that if the copies of the document are sent for the less than 21 days before the date of meeting, they shall notwithstanding that fact be deemed to have been duly sent if it is agreed by members. Guys, my request to all of you is this part you ignore. Section 137, we will take care in the general meeting chapter because I'm not feeling that much comfortable to give you the contents of general meeting in the chapter of accounts. So guys, if you want to write down 136. Distribution of notices, distribution of financial statements. I want to take care at a general meeting chapter. So right now you skip 136. Is it fine for everyone? All right. उसको अभी यहाँ पे नहीं करना. Because if I will simply read it, you will start getting bored, and I don't want it. Okay. After 136, guys, 137. This is the provision which is asked for many times in exam. Many times in exam. बहुत बार एग्जाम में पूछा गया है 137. बहुत बार एग्जाम में पूछा गया 137. Before I start reading section 137, let me tell you what section 137 is about all this. Look, 136 is about financial statements to the members. When you look at the 137, it talks about financial statement to the ROC, along with annual return. There are two important concepts you understand: annual return and financial statements. There are two forms generally we use. Even for my client, AOC4, AOC stands for what? Accounts of company. AOC4. MGT7, Management 7. So Management Administration 7. MGT7 form is used for annual return of the company, and AOC4, it is used for the financial statement disclosure to ROC. Financial statements disclosure, to ROC. Financial statements disclosure to ROC. ये दो चीजें. Financial statement disclosure and annual return. Fundamental point is when general meeting gets over. Within 30 days, you have to file this return, this financials. देखो देखो तो ये दो चीजें ध्यान में रखो. ये I think I should use this board. Whenever AGM gets over, there are two important words: financial statements, and second is the annual return. What law says here? As far as the financial statements are concerned, financial statements will be submitted within 30 days from the date of AGM. Within 30 days from the date of AGM. And annual return will be submitted within 60 days of AGM. Now, many of you have the doubts of don't play the tricks. We want to know only one thing, that what kind of questions they can ask in exam. Exam में questions कैसे आएंगे? What kind of questions they can ask in exam? So suppose there is a company's name is Shriram Limited. And this company, date of AGM is 30th September 2020. This is the date of AGM. Tell me the last date on or before which financial statement should be submitted to ROC. Answer would be 30th October 2020. It will be the last date for what? Filing the financial statements. Second is, what will be the last date to submit the annual return? So answer would be 30th or 29th November. Add 60 days to 30th September. How much it would come? 29th November, no? 29th November 2020 is the last date for annual return. Now many of you are thinking, भाई ये तो ठीक है, but problem का? Where is the problem? Let me tell you what is the exactly problem is. You know what? When we prepare the financial statements, first of all, it needs to get audited by the auditor. Fact number 1. Second fact, It will be placed in the annual general meeting, and ordinary resolution must needs to get passed for this financial statements. And once ordinary resolution is passed for these financial statements, we can say that financial statements are now adopted by the shareholders. ROC wants what kind of statements? Adopted or unadopted? Answer would be adopted. Adopted means not only finalized, but at the end it is accepted by the shareholders. So when I talk about the financial statement, that means adopted financial statement will be submitted to ROC. Adopted financial statements will be submitted to ROC within this much time limit. Okay, till this the story is clear. Hello, all of you. Before I go to discussion of section 137, till this everyone is clear to the story? हाँ पूरा adoption और वो सब कुछ होगा यहाँ पे. After then, is it compulsory that in every AGM, compulsorily the financial statements will be adopted? No, there can be certain situations where it may not be adopted by, it may not get adopted by the AGM due to there is an issue. There is sometimes AGM itself is not conducted. You tried very hard, but AGM itself is not conducted. You tried really very hard. AGM ही conduct नहीं किया. AGM ही conduct नहीं किया. तो if AGM is not conducted, then there is no question of adoption. So there are 2 points, 2 types of questions. Okay, submission of financial statements to ROC under these 2 situations, and both these kind of questions are already asked in your CA inter exam. So financial statement to ROC, question number 1, if they are not adopted, and second is AGM itself is not conducted. AGM itself is not conducted. AGM itself is not conducted. Now you tell me why government is asking for the financial statements just to watch, just to observe what is happening in your company. Am I right? Come on. Government wants the information just to look into your company's inside, that what is actually happening inside your company. Is everything fine or not? सब सही चल रहा है नहीं चल रहा. So what law says if they are not adopted, fine, whatever draft you have made, like whatever unadopted financial statement is there, you submit that first. At least we can get the rough idea what is happening inside your company. At least we can get the rough idea that what is happening inside your company. So understand guys, according to section 137, when they are not adopted, you have to submit provisional unadopted financial statements to ROC within 30 days from the date of AGM. AGM is there, but if their financial statements are not adopted, within 30 days you submit the provisional. Provisional, you understand, which is not final. You submit the provisional statements to ROC. If AGM is not conducted, again guys, the answer would be provisional. You have to submit the provisional unadopted financial statements to ROC, but within 30 days. Within 30 days. But this 30 days will be considered or calculated from when? Okay, is there any provision in the law which tells you that what should be the last date of AGM? Is there any provision like this which can tell you that what should be the last date of AGM? Last date of AGM. AGM का आखिरी दिन कौन सा होगा? Yes, if you look at the section 96 subsection 2, It provides one calculation that how to derive the last date of AGM. There is one formula is given. And you have to follow that formula and you have to go with that. Section 96 subsection 2. Got it? So loss is fine if AGM is not conducted, but we have the date on or before which the AGM should have been conducted. So you have to file provisional unadopted statements to ROC within 30 days from the date of AGM should have been conducted. If it is not conducted, it's fine, but we can have the final date. So from the date of AGM should have been conducted. From the last date of AGM when it should have been conducted. So guys, is the entire provision clear? Hello? Is the entire provision clear? One more thing what they can ask here is, and that is about, one more thing they can ask here is that is about the XBRL. अभी एक नया क्वेश्चन आपके एग्जाम में आया है राइट नाउ XBRL. What is XBRL? I don't want to teach you right now because that I will teach you EIS, Enterprise Information System. It is a technology. That if certain threshold limits are exceeding, then company needs to submit their financial statements in XBRL format to ROC. So there can be a question that company has, let's say, 150 crore rupees turnover. Is it compulsory for the company to go for XBRL or normal submission would be fine? So whether company will go for XBRL or not, that depends upon certain things here. Got it? Everyone? Hello? ठीक है. So guys, this is the basic rough idea about section 137. Background and the brief is clear in everyone's mind that basically what we're going to learn in 137. Hello? Is it clear? And after 137, the last section will be pending and that is 138 and this entire chapter is over. Or kuch nahi hai isme. So quickly guys, I'm just reading the section 137. Let's see that can you people cope up with that or not. So a copy of the financial statements, including the consolidated financial statement, if any, along with all the documents which are required to be or attached to such financial statements under this act, duly adopted. So this adoption word is very important. At the annual general meeting of the company shall be filed with ROC within what time, guys? 30 days from the date of AGM in such a manner with some additional fees. You tell me, guys, such a manner means which form will be used? If you look at the such a manner, it is written that AOC 4 will be used. AOC 4. AOC 4 will be used for that. Are you getting my point? Okay. Provided that the financial statements are not adopted at AGM. Okay, if it is not adopted, still is it compulsory to file the statements? If they are not adopted in AGM, if they are not accepted in AGM, still is it compulsory for company to file the statements to ROC? Batao why? Yes, within what time? 30. But now that will be considered as a provisional financial statements. So it says that if they are not adopted at AGM or any kind of adjourned general meeting, such unadopted financial statements along with that required documents shall be filed within 30 days from the date of AGM. And the ROC shall take them into its record as a provisional until the financial statements are filed with the ROC. So guys, once the provisional, okay, one thing I did not tell while explaining 137, provisionals are not final. So once the provisional statements are filed with the ROC, whenever you adopt it in upcoming general meetings or adjourned general meeting, final statements will be filed with ROC again within 30 days of adoption. Within 30 days of adoption. Are you clear? Hello? Okay. So again, guys, it will be filed within 30 days after the adoption in AGM for that purpose. Provided further that financial statements adopted in the adjourned annual general meeting shall be filed with ROC within 30 days. So this part already I have discussed about. Further, it is provided that OPC shall file a copy of the financial statement duly adopted by its member along with all the documents which require to be attached with financial statements within 180 days from the closure of financial year. So as over here the time period is different. I know that this is a very small point. This is very small point, but uh, student, excuse me, there's a phone from Kritika ma'am. Okay, I need to call her, but before I go, let me finish this off. So provided also that OPC, if it is OPC, okay, how many minimum and maximum number of members are there for OPC? Only one. OPC के लिए ज़्यादा कोई होता नहीं, only one ही होता, isn't it? So for them it is 180 days from the closure of financial year. Yes, ma'am. All right, there is an announcement, guys. You had 4 to 6 class of Kritika ma'am, right? 4 to 6 of Kritika, but I think due to some reasons she is not able to take that class. So what is my plan is we will continue from 4 to 6 today. 4 to 6 even I will continue. All right, and we will complete this accounts chapter and we will jump into the new chapter of auditing. And trust me, learning auditing is really fun. Lot of provisions how these big four are working, and if you are want to be a practicing chartered accountant, then what points you need to take care of. Everything we are going to learn. All right, okay, fine. So एक काम करते guys, till subsection 1 I want to complete, subsection 2 I will complete in next session of 4 o'clock. All right, let me complete that part first. So OPC वाला clear? OPC is not 30 days from the AGM. अरे भाई OPC में AGM होता ही नहीं है. Many students are asking, but why not it is from 30 days of AGM? भैया 30 days from AGM will be applicable if there is AGM. OPC only one member. So 180 days from the date of closure of financial statement, financial year. Okay. Provided also that a company shall, along with the financial statements to be filed with ROC, attach the accounts of its subsidiary and subsidiaries have been incorporated outside India and which have not established their place of business in India. So that's very common. That if you have any subsidiaries even outside India, so those details will also be attached along with your accounts. All right. This is the insertion. Provided that in case of a subsidiary which has been incorporated outside India, herein referred to as a foreign subsidiary which is not required to get its financial statements audited under any law of this country. Now, this paragraph is trying to say what? Let's say I have one subsidiary which is at Dubai, or let's say which is at the US. Now, you tell me in the US, who will be the auditor? Chartered Accountant of India or Chartered Accountant of USA, who is actually technically CPA? Tell me. यूएसए में भाई कौन यूएसए में ऑडिटर कौन बन सकता है? कैन आई से इन यूएसए हु विल बी ऑडिटर? इन यूएसए हु विल बी ऑडिटर? हु कैन बी ऑडिटर? इंडियन सीए और दैट फॉरेन सीपीए? Indian CA or foreign CPA? Answer would be foreign CPA will be able to, yeah, foreign CPA. So if any foreign subsidiary is there whose books of accounts are not audited by Indian chartered accountant, but if it is audited by his respective country's qualified accountant, maybe CPA, maybe chartered accountant, whatever, that will be valid compliance. That will be valid compliance. Look what is written over here. Provided also that in case of a subsidiary which has been incorporated outside India, herein referred to as a foreign subsidiary, which is not required to get its financial statements audited under any law of this country, and which doesn't get such a financial statement audited, the requirements of the fourth provision shall be met if the holding company just files the unaudited financial statement along with the declaration. Now, what this point tries to say? Okay. Two provisions you have to understand. If foreign company's auditor is applicable and if it's audited by foreign country's auditor, it is valid compliance. But is it possible that my subsidiary may lie in that certain countries where auditing is not compulsory? Huh? Can we find such countries in our globe where auditing is not compulsory for them? Can we find this? Tell me. Is it possible? Hello? Yes, there you can find a lot of. Now you say taxation is not compulsory. There are a lot of countries with their tax havens. If tax is not compulsory, there is no fear of tax evasion. If tax evasion fear is not there, there cannot be the tax audits. So you can find a lot of countries where auditing is not compulsory. So if your subsidiaries are incorporated on those areas where auditing is not mandatory, then how can there be audited financial statements? So this paragraph is trying to say if you are filing unaudited financial statement of those subsidiaries, all right, that would be the valid compliance. That will be the valid compliance. But those statements should be in English language. If it is in other than English language, you need to get it translated in English language. So that is all about what I can say. Section 137 part 1. देखो ये सारे पैराग्राफ में you need to remember only this much part. If it is adopted, then what? If it is not adopted, then provisional. Once it is adopted, within 30 days you have to. If AGM is not held, then what is the provision? And XBRL. Out of this 137, as far as questions are concerned, with these three questions, they have repeatedly asked in exam. I didn't see much about this. They have not asked anything about the foreign subsidiary. But trust me, if they want to set up the tough paper, they can ask the question from this foreign subsidiary part. They can ask the question from this foreign subsidiary part. All right. So, okay, now link, but we are going to use the same link. What is given over here? Same link को हम use करेंगे. जो भी link इधर दिया है वही link अपन use करेंगे. ठीक है, जो भी लिंक यहाँ पे दिया हुआ है वही लिंक हम यूज करने वाले हैं, कोई अदर देन दिस लिंक यूज नहीं होगा। ठीक है, गुड लक। So 4 o'clock, the meeting will resume having the same Chiragakhani link. So I'm not ending the meeting, guys. Meeting is as it is here. Or even if you want to stay here, it is up to you. I'm not ending the meeting, all right? Thank you. All right. Am I audible now? I hope you can. All right. I hope now it is visible to all of you. So we were doing something about the section 137. So section 137 are the three questions I hope clear to everyone's mind. Financial statements, AGM, adopted, unadopted, and AGM is not conducted, and the provisional statements. Are questions clear to everyone? Now, after that, we are going for the another part of section 137, and that is here subsection 2. This part I think pending. Okay. What this part is trying to say, subsection says that when AGM is not conducted, then what is the situation? So that part already I have explained. It says that where the AGM of the meeting, if for any year has not been held, the financial statements along with the prescribed documents as provided there, duly signed along with the statement of facts and reasons for not holding the AGM, shall be filed with ROC within 30 days of the last date before which the annual general meeting should have been held. Should have been held. So in my discussion, that part also clear. So subsection 2 is nothing but that part only. Okay. Now subsection number 3, that is about the XBRL part. Now what is XBRL? Anyone in my classroom knows anything about XBRL? XBRL? Okay, let me tell you. If I tell you that give me the reports in tally data, bulky, very much bulky, or give me the details in Excel format, or give me the data in PDF format. Which one is more easy for you? Tally, bulky data, Excel, a lot of sheets, or PDF, well structured and organized. So obviously anyone would like to go with PDF. But there are other lot of formats of information sharing is available where even we don't give to PDF, but we need to give just the extraction, certain parameters, and on that basis, the whole data can be recreated. Whole data can be recreated. Whole data can be recreated. So such technology today it is available in the market just by sharing the 2 KB or maximum, let's say 200 or 500 KB, that means half of the MB. While if you're sharing on that basis, you can extract whole books of accounts, all hundreds of ledgers, financial statements, trial balance, just 400 or 500 KB file size. Uh, um, Let me tell you the file name is XML. Have you heard about XML? During your schooling time, if anyone in this classroom might have heard about it, XML. कभी सुना है उसके बाद? What is XML? Okay, before I start with guys, first of all, show your presence. All the 6 students are really present in the classroom. ठीक है, बाकी को जाने दो, अपन को पढ़ना है तो अपन को करना है, that's all. Okay, fine. So, do you know what is XML? XML is extensible markup language. All right, that's called the XML. This is particularly used for the data interchange. So in short, XBRL is this kind of platform where you need to put the details in one particular form. That XML file will be generated and that XML file will be given to the government, will be submitted to the government. Subsection 3 says that under what situations, what circumstances, which are the companies required to go with the XBRL. So these all are given over here. That, just a second. XBRL इधर गया. This is, guys, the rule 12. It is provided about the XBRL. What it says here, the class of the company as may be notified by the central government from time to time shall mandatorily file their financial statements in extensible business reporting language format, and the central government will specify the mandate of that. So here, इधर लिखा क्यों नहीं इन लोगों गधों ने? एक सेकंड रुकना. Give me a minute, guys. Just give me a minute. Super, super. कपूर तुम्हारे इसमें all right. The matter for confusion for me was why these people have not provided the XBRL rules here. That is actually irritates me. I'm extremely sorry for the time because if they have prepared this much beautiful software, they should have something called the XBRL. But I'm shocked why it is not there here. Because if you look at under the applicability, if you look at over here, it is said that every company which is listed in the stock exchange, turnover having more than 100 crores and paid up capital of rupees 5 crores, they need to prepare the financial statements in XBRL format. And AOC for XBRL will be applicable to that. But unfortunately, the rules what I'm looking into, I'm not able to find it. Just it is written that central government may specify, but what are the types of companies not provided over here? So while I give you the notes, I will give the separate explanation in that. Okay. It is shocking for me why these people have not provided it. Okay. So by the way, is it clear, guys? The XBRL format is a unique kind of formation that if the company having more than 100 crore rupees turnover or paid up capital of 5 crores or more, they need to file their financial statements not in ordinary way, but it should be filed with XBR. All right. So that is about section 137. Section 137. After section 137, let's go to another point, and that is section 138. The last point that is about the internal auditor. Internal auditor. Now look at in the auditing chapter, you might be explaining that internal auditor and the statutory auditor, these two are the different different topics altogether. Who is the internal part of the organization? Internal part in this is like just like the other employees. He's not given the special status like the statutory auditor. Look, when I speak about this statutory auditor, he is given, he has been given a lot of ultimate powers. He's not dependent on management. Powers are directly coming from the law, Companies Act 2013. But when I talk about the internal auditor, powers are not directly coming from the law students, but it is coming by the management. So internal auditor is just like the employee of the company. Internal auditor is just like the employee of the company. Employee of the company. Got it? So what kind of questions people are going to go with in this internal auditor topics? So right now guys, these are the questions what we're going to go with. First of all, which are the companies, note it down guys, note it down. Which are the companies required, which are the companies required to appoint internal auditor under section 138. Second is qualification of internal auditor. So it can be the MCOM student, it can be any PhD commerce graduate student, or it should be compulsory chartered accountant. Can company secretary be uh, internal auditor? So what are the qualifications? These two questions are very much important for your exam. All right. So first of all, 138, it is provided that such class or classes of companies as will be prescribed. So what are the class of companies given over here? That every listed company must have to have internal auditor. Every unlisted company which has the paid up share capital 50 crores or more during the preceding financial year, or turnover of 100 crores or more, or outstanding borrowings exceeding 100 crores or more at any point of time, or outstanding deposits of 25 crores, they need to go for internal auditor. They need to go for internal auditor. Again, I want to repeat, guys: paid up share capital, turnover, loans and borrowings, and the deposits. And any of these threshold limits is getting exceeded, then internal auditing is compulsory. So listed company, unlisted public company, if they have share capital of 50 crores or more, turnover of 100 crores or more, loans and borrowings of 100 crores or more, or outstanding deposits 25 crores or more. So I see I can frame any kind of combination for asking the question regarding this. Is it applicable to private company? Answer is absolutely yes. It is applicable to private company as well. So what it says, if it is a private company, then its turnover is 200 crores or more. Outstanding loans is 100 crore or more. If either of these two is getting exceeded, appointment of internal auditor becomes compulsory for private company. All right. This point is trying to say if before introduction of this section 138, because you know 138 has came in 2014 applicability. So already, if any company which had already exceeded these thresholds but did not appoint it within 6 months of the commencement of this section, they need to appoint the internal auditor. Internal auditor. So these are the class of companies. Now let's read further. Who can be the internal auditor? So the same paragraph is further trying to say that who shall either be a chartered accountant or a cost accountant or such other professional as may be decided by board to conduct the internal audit. So this what is very important. Other professional. So you tell me guys today one advocate who has a very good skill of internal audit, but board wants to appoint him as the internal auditor. Can he be appointed as internal auditor of the company? Can he be appointed as the internal auditor of the company? Answer it. Answer is absolutely yes. Look at not only chartered accountant or the cost accountant, it can be any kind of other professionals as well. So company secretary who has a good knowledge of company law, he can also be appointed. He can also be appointed as internal auditor. Okay. Further, it is written that the central government may, by rules, prescribe the manner and the intervals in which the internal audit shall be conducted. So far, central government has not provided any rules. So guys, this is all about your all the provisions of books of accounts we have completed. Okay, before I proceed with the new chapter, do you have any doubt till this? Do you have any doubt till this? Clear? All right. I don't know why AOC for XBRL, why it is not provided. It should be there in the rules. I'm really shocked why it is not there. I have an idea. Look at, even it is written that form for filing XBRL document in respect of financial statement. Are you able to see this form? It is written, and recently it is updated on 16th July 2021. So why it is not available? That class of companies was not available in the whole rule. I'm surprised by that. Maybe I am mistaken by that. Yes, this is the form XBRL, and this one is yes, it is the rule 12 subsection 2. It is the rule 12 subsection 2 of the company's accounts rule. Company's accounts rule. So what we were looking into? वही तो हम देख रहे थे company's accounts rules के rules. Guys, I will take you 1 minute because जब तक मुझे वो मिलेगा ना चैन नहीं पड़ेगा. अचानक कैसे गायब हो सकता? Now maybe you have doubts on why you are doubting on this. You are teaching since many time and why you're struggling. The reason is these people have changed the format of ebook. Earlier the ebook was not used to look like this. It was different rule. So where are the account rules? 12 to. If you can see the account rules, just let me know, okay? Yes, these are the account rules. Rule number 12. Okay. तो वही तो है फॉर्म एंड ओके फॉर्म पे क्लिक करिए तो क्या आएगा नो स्टैंडर्ड से all right, look, this is the mistake of this ebook. Actually, the government of India has classified the class of companies required to follow XBRL, but unfortunately, this ebook is not linked with those class of companies as of now. So it is a big mistake by these people. Actually, they should have explained it over here. So that what are those class of companies to whom the XBRL applies. ठीक है बेटा? सो ब्रेक लेना चाहोगे 2 या 5 मिनट का या डायरेक्टली ऑडिटिंग शुरू कर दें? पूरा मजा बिगाड़ दिया इस पूरे टॉपिक ने. पूरा मजा बिगाड़ दिया. आई वांट टू चेक आईसीआई मटेरियल. उन्होंने ये दिया या नहीं दिया? कैन आई टेक यू 2 मिनट्स इफ यू डोंट माइंड? एक बार आईसीआई मटेरियल देख लेते हैं. दे हैव गिवन दिस लिमिट और नॉट, बिकॉज एग्जाम में पहले पूछ चुके हैं. तो अगर वो कवर्ड अप है तो बेटा आपको करना है. ठीक है. ये नहीं होना चाहिए. Okay, are you able to see this material? Please confirm, all of you. Hmm? Yes, guys, the limit is given. The limit is given. Here, you can check it. Listed company, paid up capital of 5 crores or more, and turnover of 100 crores or more. And all those companies which require to comply the Indian Accounting Standard Rules 2015. All these must have to file their statements as per XBR. As per XBR. As per XBR. But why it is not available? Type like this. ठीक है दोस्तों, 2 मिनट के लिए ब्रेक लें, उसके बाद अपन शुरू कर रहे हैं ऑडिटिंग का पार्ट. ठीक है, यू एंजॉय योर ब्रेक. 2 मिनट के बाद अपन मिलते हैं और फिर ऑडिटिंग शुरू करते हैं. चलिए, ऑडिटर ऑफ द कंपनी. All right, I got it, guys. But the point is, it is not in the accounting rules. It is provided in the another separate rules. Can you see this? Companies filing of documents and forms in XBRL rules 2015. Sorry, by the way, you no need to remember that. It is just for me that why it is not linked with that. So it is actually a mistake. And all the class of companies are provided over here. So this is the same data over here. Companies with the stock exchange, companies having the paid of capital of 5 crores and turnover of 100 crores or more, or companies which require to prepare financial statements as per the accounting standards. Alright, so let's begin with now new chapter altogether, and it is auditor of company. Right now, guys, auditor of auditor of company. This is the new chapter, auditor of company. Basically, these many sections are covered up. It is from section 139 to section 148. Section 139 to 148. Let's begin with now the point number one here. Section 139. What is this section 139? Is right on, guys. It is about appointment of auditors. Appointment of auditors. Okay, along with this, I will just tell you that how this section is important for your exam. So make it 10 stars. Very, very important. Very, very important. After section 139, let's go to section 140 here. And section 140 deals with removal and resignation of auditor. Removal and resignation of auditor. After that, 141, very interesting section that is talking about the qualification and disqualifications of auditors. Qualifications and disqualifications of auditor. 142, you write down. It talks about the remuneration of auditors. Remuneration of auditors. 143, again, it is very important for our exam. Some 143 while I teach, no, in the 143 something would be applicable for your auditing subject and something would be applicable for your law paper. So it is powers and duties of auditors. Then section 144 deals with, right on here. Section 144 deals with that certain services you cannot render in the company where you are appointed as the auditor to avoid the conflict of interest. To avoid the conflict of interest. All of you know what is conflict of interest, right? I am already doing the audit of one company and I am the accountant of the same company. I have the two assignments, accounting and auditing. Guys, will I be able to find the mistakes in the loophole from the accounts what I have prepared myself? If I tell you to find out the mistakes from your own creation, will you be able to do that fundamentally? I hope I answered. No. So technically, guys, law is given and law is created over here. Section 144, which says that auditor not to render certain services. Auditor not to render certain services. So auditor is not allowed to go with certain services. All right. After that, we have this section 145. Section 145 is nothing but just the signatory point. Auditor. It is the duty of the auditor to sign the audit report. Duty of the auditor to sign the audit report. After that, we have section 146. 146 would be clashing with the another chapter called general meeting because the heading goes in this way: duty of auditor to attend general meeting. General meeting. 146 will be taught here as well as in the general meeting chapter as well. All right. After then we have section 147 and section 147 deals with punishment. Punishment, and the last one is 148 which deals with here cost audit. Cost audit. And that is the end of your auditing chapter. So somewhere around 10 sections are there. Once you learn it, when you complete these 10 sections, it gets over. Copy that. Copy this and type the word clear. Copy that and type the word done in clear. All right. Thank you, Sriram. Thank you, Nini. Now, after having the content, I know that where you're interested more. Sir, वो तो ठीक है. What kind of questions we can expect in exam? वो बताओ. That will help you a lot while look. I cannot tell you all the questions, but basic questions I will definitely tell you. So write down, guys, what kind of questions you will face while doing this chapter. All right. So put the heading over here. Questions. Questions. One, write down how to appoint first auditor in other than government company. Second question, write down how to appoint first auditor in government company. procedure to appoint subsequent auditor, subsequent auditor, procedure to appoint subsequent auditor in then government company. Next is procedure to appoint subsequent auditor in the government company. In the government company. Fifth, how to appoint another auditor in place of previous auditor on occasion of death of the auditor. So if auditor dies, then how will you appoint him? How will you appoint him? The list of questions are going to be, the list of questions is going to be very long. Write down the sixth question here. An auditor submitted resignation, his resignation to company which is not accepted by the company, and auditor stopped his services. Is the resignation valid? Duties of company and auditor on resignation of. All right, you complete these many questions. Once it is done, I will go to the eighth one. Copy this. आराम से पूरा पहले कॉपी कर लो कितने कितने क्वेश्चंस वो पूछ सकते हैं उसके बाद हम आगे जाएंगे ठीक है पूरा लिख लो आराम से हर एक बात को लिखो okay before I go with that just one exercise I did not make what I want is after completing this chapter called accounts I want to go back to all those previous questions and I want to ask you that now you people are little bit comfortable with answering those questions. Can I do that? Huh? So that what happens at least at the end of the day you can conclude whether what you derived out of the study. Okay, because this time I have gone look faculty needs to change the way of teaching if examiner are changing the way of asking the questions. And guys, trust me, this last few attempts paper they are asking very micro level questions. This is not the way where they are asking the repetitive questions. No, they are taking one paragraph, they are interpreting it, and they are making the question. That question you will find in examination paper. Let me show you that. Let me show you that. So this is the ICI's website. Like you can see this ICI's website. In this ICI's website, देखो एक छोटे से टॉपिक को वो कैसे पूछते हैं why in-depth knowledge is important. So look at the previous attempt question paper. Recently what taken place in May 21. The May 21 नहीं है कौन सा गया भाई November 21 December 21 में जो एग्जाम हुआ है ना अभी उसका पेपर मैं आपको दिखाता हूँ. Look at this. Why there are no question papers? Corporate methodologies. Can you see this question paper? The latest attempt is the December 2021. All right. Now, do you want to see accounting? Like so far, we have done the corporate law. Out of this, how many questions are asked? Do you want to see that? So that you can get a little bit confidence that अगर एग्जाम में हम उसको कैसे करेंगे. That exercise will really help you to understand the paper. ठीक है? So first of all, here okay, this is about the OPC. That is not a right to what. Look at this balance sheet. If you can see this question only for 3 marks, only balance sheet का स्टूडेंट को चक्कर आ जाएगा because they are not expecting balance sheet in exam of law. So the question paper is not shared. Oh, yeah, look at this. This question is about the OPC here. This is about the balance sheet. On the basis of the balance sheet data, you need to evaluate about the bonus share. And this question, 2 times I did in the previous attempt, like previous attempt batch. उन लोगों को कहा था ये क्वेश्चन करके जाना और देखो ये क्वेश्चन आ गया एग्जाम. However, the balance sheet figure was different in my previous attempt. All right. This question, Mr. Raman, a chartered accountant, was appointed as an auditor. So this for the 2 marks only, whether he needs to require to vacate the office or not. This question is only for 2 marks. Guys, earlier the same question was used to be asked for the 5 marks. And look at now the strength. From 5 they have come to what? From 5 now they have come to what? Only 2 marks. So we have to reduce the contents of writing, only write to the point answers. Because 2 marks you can't write a whole paragraph or a whole page. Alright? After then, look at this is for the auditing. This is also for the auditing chapter that we are going to learn that. Yes, look at this for the 2 marks. The board of directors of ABC Limited, as its board meeting, declared dividend on paid up capital, which was later approved by the company's AGM. Guys, what do you think? This question belongs to which chapter? Dividend. Let me check whether you can answer this question or not. In the meantime, the directors diverted the amount of total dividend to be paid to shareholders for the purchase of investment for the company. So money which was kept for the dividend, they invested in somewhere else. And that is why, due to this, dividend was paid to the shareholders after 45 days. So first of all, is it violation of section 123 or not? 123 clearly says the dividend should be paid within what time? Batao. Within 30 days. But what is happening over here? It is getting paid at the rate of 15 days they are late. So do you remember I told you that if it is not paid within 30 days, section 127 will be applicable. What is 127? The penalty and the punishment for the director. Each and every director would be responsible 1000 rupees each day. Penalty. Do you remember? So state whether the act of directors is violation. Obviously it is violation and what are the consequences. So they will be penalized. So if these two contents are there, you can easily answer this question. Answer. Okay. This is about the contract act for the 4 months. 4 months, but I don't want to go in that. This is for the negotiable instrument. I don't want to go it right now. Electronic voting, that part I will tell you later on. This is the general meeting question. This is again the general meeting. Okay, general meeting with 6 marks is question. Very good. All right. Shyam Rikusuku sells the goods. So again, Indian Contract Act 1872. After that, this is bill of exchange, negotiable instrument. Yes. Now this is, I think, quite interesting. RD Limited issues a prospectus. All the statements contained therein were literally true. It also stated that the company had paid the dividends. Guys, the moment when you read the third line, suddenly your mind should click what we have done in the class. Have we ever done any point about prospectus and dividend wala part? What is written? It was not paid out of trading profits but out of the capital profits. Have we done this question in the class? ऐसा कुछ क्वेश्चन किया था about misstatement. So is it a material misstatement or not? What do you think about it? Obviously, it is material misstatement. Define small company. Already we have done this. All right. So again, guys, 5 marks question regarding appointment of auditors. So these two are the appointment of auditors. This is about the negotiable instrument. So far, I could not see any question belongs to accounts of the company. What is Hayden's rule or Hayden's case? Mischief rule that I will tell you in the interpretation of statute part. Dia Limited incorporated under the provisions of the Companies Act has two subsidiaries, Joy and Vijay. All three companies have prepared their financial statements. Now this is quite interesting. बताओ भाई ये क्वेश्चन कहाँ से है? ये क्वेश्चन कहाँ से आया है? Can I say this is about 129? Why? Simple ray holding and subsidiaries. बताओ simple answer. How they will go? Can I say they will go with exclusive as well as consolidated financial statements? Both of them will be properly audited and will be placed before the annual general meeting. Now, once you have the clear-cut knowledge about the provisions, बेटा question को देख के क्लिक हो जाना चाहिए कि आंसर क्या आनी चाहिए. If you read company and two subsidiaries, Joy Limited, and they prepared their financial statement, so click आ जानी चाहिए कि ये point कहाँ से कहाँ जा रहा है. All right. For the year ended 31st of March 2021, examine the provisions of the Companies Act 2013, explain in what manner the subsidiaries Joy Limited and Vijay Limited shall prepare their balance sheet and the statement of profit and loss account. So subsidiaries will go with the individual manner, but holding company Dia Limited, it will go with the consolidated. So Joy and Vijay, they will go on their own. They will not prepare consolidated financial statements because they are individual capacity companies. Dia Limited will go for consolidation. All right. Okay. Guys, it is further said that Companies Act 2013 has prescribed an additional duty of the board of directors to include in the board's report a director's responsibility statement. Briefly explain any three matters to be furnished the state said statement. बेटा ये क्वेश्चन भी फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट की कहां पे आई सेक्शन 134 बोर्ड रिपोर्ट याद आया कुछ responsibility statement that they have prepared the financial statements on going concern basis. Do you remember certain responsibility statements? They have prepared the books of accounts by following the double entry system. There are certain points, and out of all those points, we need to write only three responsibility statements. However, only that student can answer this question who knows about board report and who have mugged up something from that. What are the provisions of the Companies Act 2013 relating to the debenture trustee? So this topic is taken from the chapter of debenture trustee. So I don't want to take it right now. A confusion regarding the meaning of financial year, but a 4 mark की question आई. Okay, but wait, it is from the General Clauses Act. I thought this, one financial year is also defined in our books of account chapter. अगर याद हो तो. I told you any financial year which is starting from after 1st January, then those 3 months will be the part of next financial year. Have we discussed that part? Have you people discussed that part? Obviously, yes. These two interpretation statutes examine the following ABC Limited are the compliance with the provisions of the company related to private placement. Private placement. So guys, this is about the public offer and private placement. याद आया कुछ 200 members who can accept it. Supreme Court का judgment. Prospectus में कहा था 5 mark के question पिछली बार अटक में आई थी. ABC Limited wants to raise the funds for its upcoming project. It has issued the private placement offering letters to 55 persons. Understand, guys? Actually, the loss is at a time you cannot go for more than 50. Sorry, I did not tell that part. At a time you cannot go for more than 50, and in a financial year you cannot go for more than 200. So the moment when you're going at a time for more than 50, automatically that offer becomes what? Public offer or private offer? Answer the question. At a time not more than 50, in a financial year not more than 200. So guys, here it becomes the public offer. In the clause 1, before allotment under this offer letter, company issued another private placement offer to another 155 persons in their individual name. So guys, already 155 plus 55, they are exceeding what, 200 people. So if you're going for this 55 at a time, it is almost violation. And 155 plus 55, it is exceeding 200 in a financial year. Again, it is a violation. So both are treated as a public offer, not a private placement. Third is, public company can issue the securities in a private placement offers. Answer is absolutely yes. If public company wants to go into private way, nobody can stop it. Is it compulsory that public company must have to go for public offer only? Hello? Is it compulsory that public, if you are a public company, compulsorily you have to go for the public? No. All right. So this is how you should relate your study with the available questions. I hope you're enjoying this session, right? ये मुझे चाहिए, सिर्फ पढ़ के किताबी कीड़े मत बनो. Don't be just the worms of books. Along with that, I also want you that you should understand that what kind of questions can be there in exam. This is the entire 5 marks question from the deposit chapter. What I yet to start. I'm surprised. Charge and membership से कोई question नहीं आई है. Notice for AGM, AGM, AGM. This is for the Indian Contract Act. And that's all. Charge में से कोई question नहीं आई है. Division से आ गया, account से आ गया, auditing से आ गया, general meeting से lot of questions they have asked. Charge में से कुछ नहीं आया. Prospectus में से question आई है. Debenture से भी trustee वाला question आया, deposit से आया है. Except charge and member, guys, all the chapters these people have covered. But look at the size of 12, the paper, 12 pages. And this is not for 100 marks. This is only for 70 marks. Maybe you get surprised, what are you talking about? Look at, I'm joking, guys. It is only 70 marks. 30 marks are MCQs. But you can solve MCQs easily now. People can solve MCQs easily. Alright, so 12 pages का एक paper है. So guys, this will give you the guidance that how you should prepare. You should be ready with your master plan. Complete less content but qualitative contents, to the point answers. Because for 2 marks, I don't expect whole pages. ऐसा नहीं लिखना है. ठीक है, to the point लिखो. ये provision है, ये conclusion. मारो गोली, कुछ भी extra नहीं लिखना. Time नहीं है अपने पास. Maintain speed from moment one. From the moment one. Otherwise you will lose it. So all right, now I have done the 7 questions. After then, let me show you guys whatever we have studied so far. Are you people able to answer these many questions or not? Look at these questions. What is the meaning of books of account? What is the place to keep our books of account, and what if the company wants to change it? Can company maintain the books of account on cash basis? Can company destroy the books of accounts after 3 years? What is the framework of financial statements? Who has the authority to sign the financial statements? Can books of accounts of the company be maintained in electronic form? Is it possible to reopen and revise the books of account of a company? What is NFRA? Explain the powers and the composition. What are the contents of board report, and who has the authority to sign the board report? So guys, if you remember, पिछले अटेम्प्ट में ये 10th वाला क्वेश्चन आ गया था आउट ऑफ दिस कंटेंट ऑफ द बोर्ड. डायरेक्टर्स रिस्पांसिबिलिटी स्टेटमेंट में से ये क्वेश्चन आ गए थे. Do you agree with that? After that, it is written that explain the provision to submit annual report and the financial statements. I told you annual report 60 days, financial statement 30 days. Provisions for XBRL turnover 100 CR, paid up capital 5 CR. And accounting standards, if you need to apply, then you can go with that. Which are the companies for which the appointment of internal auditor is mandatory? Can company secretary become internal auditor? So as I told you guys, CS is one of the professionals. If he is adopted by the board, there is no any problem to appoint CS as a internal auditor. Provisions of the CSR policy in detail. CSR तो बेटा जो अपन ने postmortem किया है, I think we have done that professionally rather than just like a study oriented. Okay? So are you people comfortable with all the 14 questions? What you can see here? Hello? I'm expecting some good answers. If you write in the chat box, that would be the great motivation for us because we also need. Do you know what? Every teacher is an artist. Oh, he has a lot of creativity. An artist is always hungry for the audience support. If somebody is singing the song and the audience is clapping, guys, that is the great motivation for the artist. All right. So if you forget about clapping and all that, if you are not responding even, then trust me, second by second, our moral gets down. कि क्या हो रहा है यार ठीक से पढ़ा रहे हैं या नहीं पढ़ा रहे हैं and there will be a day when one beautiful presentation will turn to a mess even if there is a good faculty even if there is a good faculty are you getting me? ठीक है so this list of auditor chapter is going to be very lengthy but just give me 1 minute I'm coming out to freshen up किधर गया हाँ 7 questions you just note it down in your notebook I will start with the 8 questions just a second All right, guys. So we go for the ninth question. All right, right on. Due to clash between directors and auditor, board wants to remove auditor. Hence, it passed board resolution to remove the auditor. Is the removal valid? Is the removal valid? What do you think, guys? Removal of director should be easy, right? Sorry, removal of the auditor should be easy, right? Just to pass simple board resolution and data bye-bye. Should it be that much damn easy? Trust me, guys. Removal of auditor is not that easy. Do you know what are the procedures? First of all, you need to just not only pass the board resolution, you have to pass special resolution. Above that, you have to take the special consent of central government. If central government allows, then only the resignation or removal is possible, otherwise not. Look at, I want to share one of my practical thing. You know, recently my firm is appointed as the auditor of Destin Tradecom Private Limited. Now, what happened in this company earlier? The auditor was working, so company wanted to remove him. The point is, you have to apply to the central government. You have to pass the special resolution. It was very hectic. So I told that man, that brother, you please tell your previous chartered accountant to issue the resignation, because resignation means he voluntarily leaving the firm. We are not forcing. And removal means we have the clash and forcefully we are throwing him out of the company. So you tell me technically which one is more easy to get the resignation of the auditor or removal. Removal में बेटा ध्यान रखना लंबे हो जाओगे because the point is you have to pass the special resolution, then you go to the central government. If central government permits, then you are allowed to go. All right. Okay. Next point, write down role of audit committee in the appointment of auditor in company. All right. 10 question you write on. Can a CA, can a chartered accountant working, can a CA working in working as an employee in a company become auditor? Next question. Consulting firm, consulting firm having consulting firm having total 15 partners, 10 are CAs and 5 are CSs. Is eligible to be appointed as consulting firm having 15 partners, out of them 10 are CS. 15 practicing partners in India. 10 are chartered accountants and 5 are company secretaries. Are they eligible to be appointed as an auditor of the company? All right. After them right now, let's say Ishika, not Ishika, let me take another one. Suppose Sriram has accepted the engagement to be appointed as the auditor of the company, but his wife is holding the shares worth of rupees 60,000 face value in the company. Is he eligible? Is he eligible? What if she is holding more than 20,000? What if she is holding more than 20,000? Then what could be your reply? What could be your reply? All right. After then writing here, that auditor has accepted the assignment of taxation matters along with audit in the company. Is this acceptance valid? Is this acceptance valid? After then, auditor, while auditing rejected the fraud amounting to 25 CL in the company. He reported the same to the board. Put it to the same to the board only. Is it valid compliance by the auditor? So, is it valid compliance by up to that 15th month? Let's say if Ishita Limited conducted annual general meeting as on 30th June 2021. Invitation is sent to auditor but denied to attend what he shows his inability to attend the same. Is it valid compliance? That's all, guys. Cost auditing is actually not our CA part, so hardly I have seen the data of the part of exam, so I will not take the question from that. So these are all the possible questions, guys. Yeah, there can be some more questions, but these are the main questions for your exam. Copy that. Done. That's good. All right. So this is all about our auditing chapter. Oh my God, one question I forgot. Can I add some more questions if you have some space available? I want to add some more questions as well. Okay, these are very interesting questions right now. PwC completed 5 years. Okay, they completed 2 terms of 5 years each in TCS Limited. In TCS Limited. Can it be appointed? Can it be appointed as again as auditor? Underwriter Sri Chirag Akhani has completed 1 term, 5 years. 1 term, 5 years as an auditor in the company. The company. Company. Company appoints. Company appoints AMC and Associates as an auditor where Chirag Akhani is a partner. Is this appointment valid? Deloitte has completed the audit of Infosys Limited for the 2 terms of 5 years each. Now, company appoints Sunil Amlani and Associates as a new auditor. One of the partners who was in charge of the Deloitte firm got transferred into Sunil Amlani Associates. Is this appointment valid? All right. Explain the concept of explain the concept of cooling period, cooling period between two terms of audit. Two terms of audit. Ooh, still more of many questions are there. Powers and what are the powers and duties of the auditor as per the Companies Act. So that's all about all the questions. Let's copy it. Done. If it is done, type the word done. Thank you, Ishika. Thank you, Nimi. अगर हो जाए तो type the word done so that I can go to the next explanation. ठीक है. So आज के लिए इतना रखते हैं. It is almost now 5:44. 15 मिनट में I think. Do you want me to start the section 120 139 right now or next class में करेंगे? बताओ भाई क्या करेंगे? Anyways, एक काम करते 139 का वो ब्रीफ लिख लेते हैं. ठीक है? What are the briefs of 139? That means what are the subtopics of the 139? That's section 139. Right on, guys. Oh, yeah. Appointment of auditors. And what are the subtopics we people are going to face there? So 139 has total 11 subsections. 11 subsections. So what are the 139 written, guys? Each and every paragraph over here. All right. So point number one, your appointment of first auditor. Appointment of first auditor. And this will be categorized into the two parts. The first one, what we have, which is right on in government company, and the second part over here is in other than government. government company other than government company. Alright. After then, appointment of subsequent auditor. Again, it is in government company other than government. Let me check and see it. I can use more space. How do you write down? Consent and certificate from auditor. Consent and certificate from the auditor. Alright. And integration to ROC. Integration to after then write down term of auditor. Term of auditor in a company. So again, we have these two kinds of possibilities in the terms. Terms of auditor. If he's individual auditor, then what will happen? It is a partnership firm or LLP. Yeah, auditor can be LLP as well. After 2008, it is allowed that chartered accountancy firm can be LLP. All right. After then, right over here, the concept of cooling period. Concept of cooling period. All right. After that, what if there were common partners in the firm? After then, provisions applicable to network firms, or firms under common control, firms under common control. After that item, appointment of auditor during casual vacancy. Appointment of auditor during casual vacancy. Again, guys, it can be categorized into the two parts. First one is casual vacancy due to resignation then the story is different, and if it is other than resignation, then the story is different. All right. Again, this thing will be applicable in both the way. In case of government company, in case other than government company. So that part also will be there. In government or other than government company. So both the questions will be there. Okay? Both of the things will be there. It's just not like only government, it's just not like only other than. All right. And another point to write down here. Role of audit committee. Role of audit committee. And the last question you write, under what circumstances auditor cannot be reappointed? And when auditor can, when auditor is ineligible for the reappointment. So this part is all about your section 139. So once people are clear with all these topics and explanations, then this chapter will come to the end. So that's all, students, for today. From tomorrow, I will start discussing each and every matter of section 139. All right. So shall we shut the shop for the day, or let me complete it now? Thank you. You may leave the class now. Thank you. I hope that is completed ना बेटा वो पूरा notes लिख दिया बाकी था anyone any student who did not take it should I reshare done ना okay Shriram if it is done you take the snapshot and share it into the group so that others can also get the benefit of that all right good luck